And we're live. What's going on, man?
Doing this. This is my my safety, my blanket.
Yeah,
Yeah.
mine's is usually a hoodie, and it's getting warm outside. And then I got my baby tee. I accidentally wore the wrong
You
t-shirt.
just wanted to show your arms. Good playing.
I've been doing my push-ups.
He switched arms. Is what he meant. Oh, two at a time. I didn't know this was that kind of party.
Oh, hell
no! We were gonna talk business today. I'm gonna ask Mike, and Mike's gonna ask me, but we're gonna kind of set this up like a mutual interview about our endeavors and what it is that we want to gain from it for the most part. We have spoken about it in the past, but I think it's a good idea to kind of reassess and ask some new questions. We've grown in the last, what is this, episode 7?
12. I just put out 7. Thanks for embarrassing me. I was counting how many episodes I'm behind between this and Bath Staff. I was like, jeez.
Bruh.
Like it's the point to where I'm gonna take this weekend. I'm gonna cancel game streaming and just catch up because I'm like, it's not fair to you and it's not fair to everyone who's been watching. Like, yeah, dude, like this is our content, and like the people who actually enjoy watching us, they're like, dude,
Well, at a certain point, I guess I can say that, man, just send me some some point in time, and I might be able to go through something with you, or for you, or you know what I mean. I owe you at least that for bringing me on, and we can talk about that.
Yeah, I remember you bringing that to my attention before. I appreciate it. I just had this thing where I'm like, I got it, you know, like.
Yeah, that's called pride.
But no, it's just because the holidays. I allowed the holidays to set me back because instead of taking myself seriously, I was like, I'll take a break. It was okay.
Work for 2 weeks and I ain't do shit. Well, actually, let me stop lying because I had to move.
Yeah.
Back into the house.
Yeah. Yeah, you had moving, and then I had just typical family stuff to do. Like,
of course we do. Ain't that what it is? Well, that's why I want to have like like almost an exercise today, kind of put back together what it is we really want to do and how we can do it to the best of our abilities and raise families and be a decent member of society all together.
Especially now with them taxes coming out, y'all like to act like your family until that money's gone. I'm being petty today.
Whose kid cannot claim?
Anyone?
If I have one wish, you would give me your kid
to claim on my taxes.
One day, just give me one, and I'll flip it. I turn 50 to 100.
Not flipping the tax money.
Let me get 20.
And then we evolve to EBT.
We gonna eat off that for 2 years. You gonna let me flip 2 more tax checks. That's how it's gonna go.
In 3 years, I'll have given you back $5,000.
5. Speaking of taxes, how we gonna bring that tax money in with this thing that we doing? What is it that we want, and how can we supplement? What's your why?
My why? Because I'm bored and I have nothing to do.
That's a bad motherfucker.
No, honestly, so the entirety of the MyCam social brand, including Sketch and Catch featuring Trae, my music, my DJing career, and then the Bath Staff all together, and even the gaming. I want it to be okay. When I stopped working, because me and my wife switched schedules, she wanted to work, I was done working, and it was like it all played out. So she went to work, or back to work, I should say. I, stay home with the kids. And this was all coming out of COVID too. Like when COVID was starting to be like getting a lot better. 2022, I should say, 2022, 2023. I had always had this like feeling that but I wasn't the only one feeling the way I was feeling. Just kind of like, I think there's people that could benefit from having a circle, like a group of friends, you know, like ones that you can trust, whether it's online or in person. And then what really solidified my wanting to do this is that I had lost a very near and dear friend of mine. I can't actually say how. The speculations on how he had passed away, I don't really know. But I won't go into detail with that. All I know is I lost a friend, and it really affected me because part of the reason, as to one theory as to why we lost him, was like kind of coinciding with how I was feeling, and it really lit a fire under me to be like, I feel like there are more things that can be done for people and for ourselves before we reach a point that is you can't turn back from. So I started to really think about how it affected me, and how I've lost other friends the same way. Once I started to really think about it, I something just told me like, be the voice, just a voice, not the voice, but a voice. And then, you know, and I just kind of got stuck with, okay, so here's a thought, maybe I could start streaming. And I played with the idea for a little bit, and I was like, you know, it takes time and blah blah blah. I made excuses. So over time, I was just like, it just kept poking at me, do it, do it, do it. And I was like, well, what do I even name it? Because if I'm doing it for people who clearly need someone, like, you're kind of like looking for a friend. I was like, okay. So in the image and the foundation of being able to have someone always there for you, if you ever feel like you need someone, you feel like you're, what's the word?
Lonely?
Lonely's one. Like, and it's that loneliness that even though you have family, you have friends, and they're all like, you know, like they love you, they rely on you, they depend on you, whatever. There's always that sense of loneliness that you feel like it's beyond being understood. It's just the fact that like there's nothing that'll ever shake it, but you find ways to fill the void by being around people who actually just like allow you to be yourself. So yes, lonely was one. Misunderstood.
That's a good one.
Or just like you feel like you're the shutout of your group, but there's a conglomerate that you mesh with. You just kind of need a way to ease in. Whatever brought you to the fact that you feel like you need someone before things go south, I wanted to provide that. Took me a while to think of the name, but one day I was just kind of sitting there. I was like, you know, in order to need a friend, you have to seek a friend. Wait a second. Boom. Be a friend, seek a friend. Turned it into an acronym, BAFSAF. One that was easy. And then like I was like, now I'm doing this. So it was all back because there was a point in time, and it, like I said, it's unshakable. Like, I can fill the void temporarily by having Trae here, being able to go have guy time, you know, spend good days with my wife. But there's this unshakable feeling that I'm alone. But I know I'm not alone, so I don't feed into it, you know? Like, I've got his support, I've got her support, I've got my kids' support, I got family support. I'm not alone, but I can never shake this feeling. So the best way for me to not feel it is to just fill the void of being lonely. And it helps, because as long as I allow myself to be around others that are in my like-mindedness, or at least I can just be myself, I don't feel that way. And it's like a temporary thing. It's almost like I have a cancer that's treatable, not curable. So my treatment is being around people. And I'm probably describing a couple diagnoses, but I've never actually looked into the fact that I may or may not have it. So, and of course, when you're wanting to do something like this, you see people who are lucrative. Like, there's a bunch of streamers, or what they call them, and influencers who make decent money off of being able to help people. But when I think of a lot of influencers and streamers, I'm just kind of like, they're in my head, I feel like a lot of them are doing it improperly, or they could do better, because there's at one point you can kind of understand that there's a clear base of greed, and like, oh, you're more of a customer than you are like an actual person. And I would like to be at a point where I am stable, but not too popular or too famous to where I can't pay attention to somebody. Because what I want to do is I want this thing to grow so much that the people that I allow in it can also be my extension.
Trying to be like a Western therapist.
Yeah, because my plan B was to go into therapy.
Uh-huh. I like it. I appreciate it. Because a lot of that, what were you saying, just like about friendship, being and seeking and doing all this, was like, well, right before we hit record, I said, that's why I'm glad we do this, right?
Yeah.
Because, yeah, nailed it.
Yeah, that's just kind of like in hindsight why I started, is because I don't want anyone to feel how I felt. I don't want anyone to feel how others have felt that I've lost or I see struggle on a daily basis. I want to be able to provide something for someone to be like, you know what, there's a better day, there's a better way. And I'm not saying that I'm going to be the one to turn everything around, but I want to be able to instill some kind of pathway, some light, to where it's like, hey, you know what, you've given me something to think about, and that's it. If you can consider what I bring to the table for you to do better outside of me, that's really all I want. Because I just want people to be able to like be better. Because I feel like, yeah, even with the BetterHelp thing online where people are getting free therapy, that's a very good start. I hate hearing how people have to pay for therapy, but I hate understanding that therapists need to get paid because that's their but like, I've always thought that the rates for therapy were so high. I told myself if I was to get into therapy, I would be at very low cost.
High enough to keep people uninterested, huh?
Yeah.
I feel that. Can I tell you mine?
Yes, please do. Tell me the why.
Were you done? All right.
Oh, no. Yeah, all right, I'll finish. I was actually gonna go ahead and ask you fill us in on everything about what you're pursuing and what started and why.
So I am suing career in art, and it's that broad. What's going on?
That's my sister. Hey, Asia. How's it going?
Oh, hi.
Thanks for stopping in.
I'm pursuing a career in art, and what started that is, I thought for the longest it was the only thing that I was really able to do, and so that's what drove me. I was like, man, this is the only thing I'm good at. I'm gonna try to do this, right? And I believe in myself enough. That's the goal. Like I should be able to, because literally what's, you know what I mean? I feel like it's my calling. So, I went to that, and that was around high school. Like, I knew I could draw. I've been drawing my whole life. And after high school, I actually went to school to be an EMT because I thought it would be a good money grab. Didn't really have a good head on my shoulders about things. Some stuff was happening at the house, as far as like I had to do like home repairs, and I was working, and I was going to school for EMS, and I was like, I partying too much and working too. Yeah, it's all of that was in there at 18, 19 years old. So I made it about halfway through, dropped out. No regrets. No regrets. And so a year later, I went to school in Oklahoma because I told myself I was going to go to school to do something. I'm always the type of person that's doing something. Part of why I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm always doing something. But I started school there, and I met with some really interesting people, some really like-minded people, and it was really the first time in a long time that I had been around some people that accepted me on the artistic level. No shade to none of my people here, but I was out there and I really got to connect with some people. I met my teacher, and he told me I had potential. I felt confident about my work, so that was where like introduction into like my mindset was kind of like, hey, I can do this. So I went to school for 3D modeling and multimedia design. I did everything from 3D modeling to, I did a little bit of coding, but I hated it. Video editing was one of my favorite other things, and regular graphic design and Photoshop class. And with learning all of that, I really wasn't sure what I wanted to do. So when I say I could pursue a career in arts, I wanted to use all of that and put it on a resume and say I can do all this. That's not how you get a job.
It's not?
Absolutely not. Not in the arts.
Okay.
You can say that you're proficient in anything and you can present a portfolio, but if I have a 3D portfolio, graphic design company ain't really gonna hire me.
Okay.
And then I found out later on, for good reason, I'm not a good graphic designer. I know some of the basics, I know some of the elements and all that kind of stuff, but and that's what I was telling all my friends, because I was making flyers for people for a little bit. A lot of the times they would fail or this, that, and the third. But I was making them, and they was looking good, but nobody ever saw them. So I can't be like, yeah, I'll make flyers, or I would have it send it off and not even put it in portfolio work because I was uneducated and stupid as a younger 20 cat. But I was telling people I can graphic design. I learned the hard way. But I graduated and I came home and I wanted to pursue a career in 3D. You can't really do that here. And here was my safe haven. I couldn't move.
Yeah.
Couldn't afford to move. I'm not really stable enough to be out on my own without getting into much trouble, really. I let that be an excuse. We'll put it that way.
That was gonna be my question to you. Was it more of just like you?
I was young,
or you didn't want to?
I was young and sheltered, and that's how I felt like it was not the case. I coulda, shoulda, woulda, but I didn't.
Was it more on a foundation that you were like you thought it through, rather than just wanting to take a leap of faith?
No, I wanted to stay in Oklahoma.
Calculated.
I wanted to stay in Oklahoma.
Okay.
After graduation, but my dad told me the best thing.
Uh-huh.
And at that point in time, we were kind of in a place where he felt like I was never really able to take what he had, or cause he worked a lot late nights, and I didn't really get to see him much. I didn't pay him that kind of attention. He was right. So I did what he said would be the best thing to do because I want to follow in his footsteps because I'm grateful for what he gave me. So I tried to make a career here out of hitting people up for club graphics and flyers and knocking on doors and showing people a reel or some designs that I did on the halfway. And that was me pursuing the career in arts. And it started getting everywhere. And then I started painting.
Yeah.
And then I started painting and I got together with some people. And I never figured out, which is why I'm going on tangent, what it is I wanted to do for real. So I have this thing with my friend in all this time, 10 years that I came back from Oklahoma. I have this thing, me and my other friend Mike, we are a conglomerate. We believe that there are enough people here with enough skills really would like to do it proficiently enough to make it lucrative for everybody. We are an offbeat set of people who don't really get the opportunity based off of I'll address gatekeeping later because it's necessary, but it definitely happens here. But we've been gatekept for a good reason. If it ain't broke, don't break it. You know what I mean? There's another lane. There's lanes open. You know what I mean? We want to throw the people that feel that way together as musicians, artists, DJs, filmographers. Filmography in Wichita ain't not enough of them.
Yeah,
they do a good job.
It's like starting to up and come now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So, but people do all this kind of stuff, and they all have these kind of skills. I want to bring a conglomerate together to actually execute everything we can do and put it on a level that brings us into public places and all that kind of thing, to break it down to where everybody's working for somebody, with somebody.
Yeah.
To do things to become a better society altogether, really.
That's refreshing.
But it's hard because we kind of fucked up in the head sometimes. But but I mean, take it for what it is. Most of the time, the people that we talk to about this are also kind of fucked. You know, a lot more non-judgmental.
To be an artist, you're gonna have to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got to be a little. You got to be a little different.
Out there a little.
You got to be a little different, and we, as a community, are unilateral. I think Wichita is. Everybody goes to the same place. I don't care if you're black, white. Everybody goes to the same place. Everybody does pretty much the same thing. That doesn't have to be the idea. So I want to be able to at least show that there is another lane that can grow. That's my project. That's my baby. I want to curate shows. I want to curate DJs that all don't sound like the everyday.
Yeah.
We need that breath of fresh air. That's
unique.
But right now I'm trying to make enough money to to facilitate all that.
Okay. So hear me out.
Yeah.
I love that because I had always wanted, when it came to music, I always kind of wanted to be able to like establish a foundation here in Wichita, or at least the Midwest region, right? Because when you think about something like music, people have to go coastal in order to feel like they have to. So like, there's never really
have to
anything
leave.
here other than like going to Dallas, but you know, who wants to do that?
That 5 hour, man, for me is like,
It's literally going to. Never mind. You're going south, all right, but
I love Texas. But and that's not to cover my ass or anything. We just got done talking about Texas because I'm still an OU fan through and through, and an OSU alumni. But nobody want to go to Dallas no more, especially out of Wichita.
Yeah.
Everybody can't go.
And
bro, we already in Dallas.
And see, here's the thing. I've noticed a lot of people who have left have come back, or they went somewhere else. One, it's the living expenses. Two, it's like you think that you can just up and leave and go. Unfortunately, you think you can go and like succeed the same way everyone else in that city or state does, and it's like, do you understand what
the
they've
block is
done?
already flooded, man.
Do you understand what they've done
But
to get where they are?
But that only leaves room for us.
Which brings me to what I was gonna say. Initially, I've always wanted to establish some kind of headquarters for music and art. When me and Carson were working together, he approached me. He said, "Hey, do you want to do this with me?" And I was like, "I've been waiting for someone to ask me that forever." When he approached me about it, I'm like, "Okay," and now I'm all in. And like, you know, we were talking, and then of course, like, we had ideas and everything. I'm like, I went full research about it. I've forgotten all the research because I was like,
I might need you soon, like real soon.
So, oh, perfect. So, what I initially wanted for the entire thing, once he had approached me, like, I started to like really let my mind flood here. I want a headquarters to where we have a music studio for people to be able to record at a very, very affordable price and time. We were also going to have equipment for people to learn instruments, learning how to DJ. We're also going to establish our own record label company in said headquarters. And then I was going to want to pursue, in the middle of all that, right, I was going to allow local artists to put their art up around the building. And then, you know, of course, price them if necessary for people to buy. And so once I saw that, I was like, wait, I could have an art wing and a music wing and a record wing. And then I opened it up to even more. Like, we can be an open platform record company. Like, we can have rock, we can have rap, hip hop, whatever the case is. We'll have classes. We'll get some musical teachers in, and like, I wanted this big place, big like euphoria for anyone who wants to do music and art, because I want anyone in that entertainment category to thrive. Art wing would be for being able to like learn how to paint, learn how to draw, being able to put your I would also want to involve having art shows.
You know what you do? Screw the classes. People aren't consistent enough to do classes.
Okay.
Make a studio space. Because people want places to do what they're already doing.
Okay.
So where somebody could come and learn. Like, there are people looking for, like, we'll call it like a residence, and they display and they do their art, in a spot. So that's kind of like how that would be. That would be a great way to segue. You get some artists coming through there, you're like, yo, I want that on my wall, or like, I like this art, we can put this video in here type shit. And I've always wanted to do that. Just facilitate something for people to continue to do things. I'm tired of people saying it ain't nothing to do. I'm tired of people not learning anything at this point in time. So we're saying there's nothing to do.
Right.
I look, I'm not judging nobody because I just got sober, but he's out drinking and just drinking and not doing shit.
Drinking and fucking.
Just drinking and fucking. I wasn't even fucking. I was just drinking.
Drinking and coming. Or at least trying to.
But no, man, it's like, so I'm glad we're on the same page, and I think that's really cool. And this is why this reassessment is necessary, right?
Huh? I don't think we've actually said this before.
That's why
I don't think we've actually
necessary.
shared the fact that we wanted to, like, we were on the same page.
No,
with, like,
we haven't. But for us to have conversations and then reiterate something we talked about before is healthy, clearly.
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Yeah, that's good jazz.
yeah.
Good jazz. So let me ask you, with currently with MyCam Social and with what you plan on doing in the future, what are your tactics for reaching audience?
I'm glad you asked that because I've been kind of battling why I'm even doing it still, and just trying not to lose my purpose for doing it. And having this conversation, like, I'm able to kind of like remember why I'm doing it. So okay, like our time. Wait, can you ask that question again? I just forgot.
For right now,
Uh-huh.
with MyCam Social, FAF, what is it? What is your target?
Target audience. Initially, I put for anyone who's feeling alone or just misunderstood. But I also say that it's for everyone, but especially for people who kind of like need someone. I'm trying to constantly remind myself why I'm doing it whenever I do things. So going with FAFSAF, let's just start there. I have a podcast that brings topics, and the topics are going to get a little more intricate, more fun, but like also more informative. I want to start being able to provide any information that allows the viewer to understand how to be better, or how to like find better, if if they're needing that. If not, it's just like kind of like a refreshing voice to hear, like, oh, okay, someone else feels like I guess I just, like, in hindsight, I want to be relatable.
Okay.
In a sense that's just like in the times of what we're going through now, whether it's big or small, heavy or light, depending on what you're going through in life. I wanted to be able to provide something, a word, a phrase, like a hit to the heart, or a thought in the mind, just to kind of keep people afloat and grounded, because we can get lost easy. Like for me, it's like sometimes whenever I feel like I'm in a deep swirl of a dive, sometimes I feel like muscle memory is pulling me back to want to like go back to drinking or go back to this and that. I'm like, no, I don't need that, because I'm much better now to where I can tell myself no, and I'm fine with it. I don't make excuses as to why I need to go pursue things. That I also I consider my overall health, mentally and physically. So I have a broad target audience. I just want everyone to be able to like enjoy, have fun. It's all entertainment. Fast Half is just, informative, friendly. With the music and the DJing, that's just something I like doing. I also want to make a career out of it, but I also want to get people who are in the same spot as me, up and coming. Hey, like, if you have questions about how the process is, or where I'm at, or like what you can do to do what I do in your hometown, we can all share. We can all just kind of like understand. Like, I want to be that approach. A lot of like what I understand, like when you go to try to find answers, some people are assholes about giving you the answer. Some people are very informative and very nice and genuine. I really like those people. But when people, like, you have a question about something like equipment or how to perform or how to do this and that, some people are like, don't you know this? Like, that's their tone. And it's like, I wouldn't be asking if I knew this. I want to be that approach that people can feel safe to ask me any question.
Yeah.
I might play with you, be like, oh, you should know, but like I won't. I'll be like, just kidding. But like, here's your answer. Like I'll make it fun, and you'll be okay with asking me questions. You'll also be okay with giving me feedback, because I don't know. I hate seeing the negativity around, and I want to be the positive to the negative. I want to be the light to the dark.
Yeah.
I hate how I've been treated, or I hate seeing how other people have been treated. Like, there's no pushback, there's no like no justice to it. Then one more thing with the gaming, it's just me having fun. I give myself 3 nights out of the week to just be able to game, but also like broadcast for people to see. If you haven't played the game, here's how it works. And then like because yeah, you can enjoy, like, be with me enjoying the games that I like to play, having fun, and also getting better. Because like with Tekken and Titanfall, I'm like really trying to get better at it. And then Sundays, I'm like, whatever game I have on the shelf that I can just play for a playthrough. Yeah.
So, with the things you want to make a career of, DJing, that possible money through streaming, what steps have you taken to gain followers and audience?
I am really bad at this because I get to a point where I'm like, why does it matter? It's pursuing people, like just put myself out there. The hustle for exposure is what it is.
It's grading, isn't it?
I think I answer everyone's question before I can even allow them to answer it for me. I assume. So I'm like, I look at people, I'm like, oh, they're not gonna like it, and I just move on. And that's not any way to get yourself out there. Allow yourself to be okay with the fact that someone's like, no, I don't like this, no, I don't want this, or like, because I remember I was starting to do it and I was just like add, and then like one guy was like, do I know you? I'm like, no, but I like, I'm just trying to get myself out there. He's like, what do you do exactly? I immediately got irritated because if you were to look at my page, all questions can be answered literally right there.
Well, that dude's just
yeah, and so
that is like, nah, man, that's one in your 500 or whatever that you run into.
And I think I let that get to me because I was like, I didn't like that interaction,
and it will.
I didn't like that interaction.
And then you won't do it for another 2 days, and then you're gonna forget about it. And...
I have yet to do it, and I think it's been like almost a year. Well, I think it's been like half a year, but it was because like I didn't want to have to explain that when I have already put it on my page for you to see. And like I even said like, hey, if you're interested, check me out. If not, go on about your day.
He's probably looking at. Here's what happened. Somebody hit him up on Facebook Messenger before talking about he was messing with his girlfriend, and then so he's like on 10 about random people adding him. That's all that is.
You know what's crazy? He actually was in the middle of a breakup. He added me, and I've been
calling me now for your free tarot reading.
I've actually been paying attention to his journey because, like,
is this the same guy?
Yeah.
Y'all stay friends?
Well, it's not like, that we're friends, but he added me, and I can.
You stayed on each other's pages.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I would took him off. That's too many questions. And that's where I'm bad about it too.
No. Well, but like he actually gave me a chance, but like I haven't heard from him. But I see that we are now accepted friends of each other. So, no, like I out of nowhere, I'm like, who is this guy? And like, cause I started seeing stuff from him, like things that he would post. I'm like, who the? Oh, this is dude. I'm like, okay. And so like when I first saw him, it seemed like he had a really good relationship going, like everything was fine. He would post in happy way. Eventually it got to the point I'm like, oh, you're not doing well.
Oh shit.
And like he was doing things to how you would before back in the day, like you would make blatant indirect posts about somebody or something, and it's just like, oh man, what are you going through?
That's how I knew what
yeah. And so like he was making those posts, and of course then there were more posts about like, oh, I'm doing better, and this is like it for attention, as we all have done, right?
I hate broadcasting my stuff on Facebook. My girlfriend mad because I don't post her half the time. Yeah, look, it's not for y'all, man. Like none of it is. I barely post my kids anymore.
Yeah.
It's not for you. I mean, it's become such a bad place for me. It's just like,
and I had to be okay with how people do it. It's because it's our digital journal, but then there you get to a point to where like you're clearly doing things for attention, and it's like a lot of us would be like, what are you doing? But then it's like, okay, if this is your healthy safety net, by all means. And so like I had to look at him like, okay, so he's now wanting what I wanted. Just some exposure, some attention. So like instead of like judging him, I found myself to be able to support him. He would post some videos of him like working out, hitting the bag. I'm like, okay, because I really I'm like, all right, I like that.
He's
keep
doing
going.
better. You know, that's wellness.
And then
So,
now he's kind of turned things around, and it seems like he's doing a lot better. No more of those videos, but I don't know him, but I'm proud to see his improvement, because it seems like he's got himself into either a tight circle where he's able to like be himself, or he just kind of like overcome that issue. And like it's really cool to see someone that you don't know like really get past all those issues. Like, good for you.
I got a challenge for you. 5 Facebook group containing podcasts about wellness or containing things about wellness. Share your podcast.
Oh, there's a challenge. I'm getting tight just thinking
So
about it.
think about Twitch groups on Facebook.
Okay.
Think about wellness groups on Facebook, and think about podcast groups. Probably found wellness podcast group.
Yeah, because like every 2 weeks, on my Cam social page, are like, we see that you're this way. You might enjoy this page. I'm like,
Now, because then your name is going to be on there.
yeah.
And
Can I do it in a sense of like, check me out, give me any feedback that you feel is fitting?
I was just about to get to say, because I want to change it up for you. You don't even have to worry about posting and engaging. Join them, get approved and everything. Just post might even post a whole podcast, a link to one of the episodes. Do it.
Okay. Is it 5?
5.
You said join 5
groups.
podcast based groups.
Yep. Podcast or Twitch, or you call this a podcast via Twitch? Is that correct?
Yeah, this is a podcast in 3.
Okay. So find Twitch groups, find podcast groups, or find wellness groups. All you gotta do is make a post.
Okay.
Yep. I want you to do that.
What was the post entailing?
An episode, an introduction. Follow me. And
Okay.
this is to gain audience.
Okay.
Because a lot of the times, what are we doing this for, comes from a lack of following.
Yeah. And like I'm also like I'm depending on the slow grow. Like if you see me and you're interested, I really appreciate that. But having to go out and throw myself out there,
You can't monetize that way.
I know.
And I also want you to do one for DJ, but I don't hear you DJ, so I don't know. But I would throw that in for extra credit or something.
And I'm not ready for that one yet. I actually need
That's
a couple
fair.
more mixes.
That's
I need
fair.
a couple more mixes.
That's why I'm like, do some DJ.
Yeah.
Do some DJ mixes.
No,
you ain't ready yet? What you waiting on?
I need to start being okay with working with this equipment before I move up to the big boy right there. Because I also need 2 more turntables. The ones that my uncle gave me aren't working.
Somebody told me a story. I believe it to be complete bullshit, but somebody told me a story. Went into a guy's place to introduce myself as an artist and show him that I wanted for potentially a position in the program that he had, or a resident. We spoke. He looked at my slim portfolio. I told him about my digital work that I couldn't bring in. I showed him my demo reel on my phone and stuff, but I told him I also animated. He used to tell me a story about how a person learned how to animate from a broken screen and only had about a 4 square inch corner to work out of. But what I believe this man was trying to do,
Work with what you got. Yeah. Sorry, I mean to cut you off.
No, I know. Well, that's okay. You knew exactly where I was going. And I do that too. Honestly, I didn't work with what I got until I got it.
You can sit there, you can tell yourself, "Oh, I need this. I need this. I need this." Like,
and
how
I
do you
did that a
know
lot.
if this is what you want if you don't work with what you got?
Right.
And like,
Right.
it's crazy because I've been telling her to do the same thing, and I'm like,
Oh,
she's like, "Oh, I need this."
oh,
And I'm
Dad.
like, you don't need.
Dad, you better work on it. Practice. Barry White said it.
Yeah.
Practice what you preach.
Yeah,
I'm bad about it.
I've gotten better.
I actually pull my card every time she came.
Oh.
She came. And didn't you say?
You right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Hit them with the you right face.
Is that Will Smith? I gotta stop talking about that man.
We always bring
I
him
don't
up.
know why. I have been watching the new Bel Air though.
We
That
always
might be
bring
a
him
thing.
up.
I've been watching the new Bel Air since I think in the last couple weeks I've turned it on.
I need to watch that.
It's like a soap opera.
Yeah.
I never watched a soap opera till now.
Is it good? Okay. I remember waiting for it when they aired first, because I remember it was I remember watching like the whole growth of it. Like somebody made a fan trailer of it, and they're like, "Nah, you gonna
That's
pick
who
this
made
up?"
the
Yeah. And so like they made it an actual story. I was like, "This is dope. Like that's dope."
I tell you what, I think it's a little corny, but I'm a little corny.
Okay.
You know what I mean. It works for me. But I don't know. I'm way more invested in just kind of the story because it keeps going than I'm saying like I don't think it's Oscar or Emmy, especially not the acting. I don't even really like the acting. I don't like a lot of their stories, but they came together and like I want to see.
Hand me that. I want to make sure that's not her. Yeah, I pretty much just had to be okay with actually start pushing a couple more mixes to put out, and then because like I have ways to put myself out there. There's a couple of organizations and websites. I'm like I can just put my stuff out there, and of course YouTube's always there. But what about you? Well, what are you doing to monetize everything that you've got going on, and how what do you feel like you can do better with getting the exposure and monetization?
Good question. I don't know, and that's why I was screaming a bunch of episodes back that I was quitting because I think.
Flash question here: do you still feel that way?
Especially now.
Okay.
More so than before.
Okay.
I joined groups. I posted. I don't do too many repeat. I don't spam. I had a TikTok that I made some posts out of. I recycle videos. What I could do better, artist as a person, as a business, hopeful business person, to be more consistent on. I'm very inconsistent as a period, and I'll own it because like I said, I don't have sit down in my DNA, so I'm always here. Matter of fact, it just made me realize I got to tell somebody back about it. Logo design. Wanted me to do, and I didn't get back to him. It's been too long.
Okay.
Like I need to text him now.
Okay.
Type of shit. And I just realized that talking to you about it, and I feel bad now. That happens too often.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why I say I'm okay to like, because at some point you got to get grace and say.
Yeah.
Every time I finished a piece, I posted it, and that was kind of bad for me. Because it meant that people were expecting something only when I finished something. But if I do that, then I'll never really post and I'll never be consistent in the timeline. I'm not a consistent enough artist to keep that going without making repeat posts.
Okay.
Or at least repeat, frame it, or, change it up somehow and then sell it, or, make it more eye-catching. For the longest, I was doing portraits and body figures and stuff like that, and it's all in black and white. I was gonna call my shit Shady Gray, Shady Gray Designs. I think I'm gonna do something different. I like it. It's used, but it's not. You can flip it, but that's also not appealing on timeline, especially with an iPhone camera and all I'm doing is saying, "Look, y'all, I did it." So, in order to grab audiences, to find and get a target audience, I can't really say that I've done much. That's all I've been trying to work off of. And
how do you feel about progressional photos or progressional videos? Like letting people know where you're at with a certain piece.
Usually I do them, but a lot of the times I get to it and I get to it. Like I don't have my phone. Well, a lot of the time I use my phone as reference.
Okay.
But also, all this, it depends on how I'm feeling. And like I got hours. And me being inconsistent, I'll get in my head, something do pop. Am I going to be able to supplement, like actually type of stuff, the second guessing and all that kind of stuff sets in. So it's like, I can make a fresh
Oh,
video right now
okay.
that nobody's seen of some
Right.
professional stuff of a picture that's already posted.
Uh-huh.
But
So you kind of do what I do, where you just kind of assume someone's judgment
I don't
or
know.
reaction.
I try not to put my reaction on based off of what is assumed. I'm more so of trying to break that algorithm.
Okay.
I'm trying to get to the controller, not the scroller type of thing.
Mhm.
And that's enough of it on its own. Like you have to be super. You have to basically give your life to shit. I can't do that.
Yeah.
Bad.
I mean, I think because what Zach's been trying to get me to understand this too, and I told him like, I mean, I'm consistent, and right now I'm just doing enough to where I enjoy it, but I'm not overworking myself. Because if I get to a point, he's like, you have to treat it like a job. I'm like, yeah, but with my jobs, I've burnt myself out, and I don't want to do that anymore. Because like I have to be able to like and love what I'm doing. If not, then I'm not gonna want to do it. So because I understand where you're coming from. Because there's been times I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna stop editing these videos and just start with the most recent one.
Yep.
But I'm like, no, I want to keep going. So what I've done to kind of, and this is all based on the fact like I'm trying to balance my schedule with not only what I want to do in here, but I've got to make sure they're good, make sure she's got time, she's good, and then I'm good myself. But I'm at a point now. I'm like, okay, so like when I take a video for editing, like I'll split it into 4 sections, so I can do like take time, do one section. How am I on time today? Can I do a little more? Push it. If not,
Idea.
I'll push it, because
Idea.
what I want to do is have the video edited within the week. So instead of waiting like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's done. So if I separate it in time, I'd be like, all right, I've got this much time today. I should be able to like put this much time in. Because now what helps is like my boys are at a certain age where like, okay, one, you're not even supposed to be in the office. Get out. Two, like either go play with your toys, go color, or go watch some TV. Yes, unfortunately, I'm using TV, and then my son has his tablet as a means of like, I give them.
You don't school well.
Yeah. And like I give them 2 to 3 hours. Mind you, like I make sure to limit their screen time throughout the day. But like yeah, 2 to 3 hours of like a couple movies here and there, or like my boy on the tablet. Then like okay, go play. But I want to make sure they're not getting too much. Let me ask you this first: is the passion still there, or are you losing the passion?
Changed. The passion is definitely still there, but like love, man, like love changes out, like completely ruining it or yourself behind it. Like here recently, I realized I was putting that stronghold love on part. I didn't know how to verbalize it. I still go through and just sketch some little bit, but I don't hit a spot and say I gotta do this, finish it. I'm not gonna do that until I know I can love it, because I haven't been. The passion is still there. Like I don't know, it's a weird feeling. It's almost like I'm cheating on art with my family. It is. It's like it was my first love, and I don't want it to be that. But things have to shake and shit in order for me to know that I'm not just denying the fact. Like I have a lot of things that I feel like if I'm not doing certain things, I'm not going to be able to get them that, and that's a problem. Going to school and shit to make the money to stabilize, so I can get back to it. You know what I mean? Hopefully that'll work out. But yeah, it's become so necessary at this point because I didn't realize how much I was mistreated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't really believe that 100%, but this could be a good reason.
Yeah.
Passion's still there, but the love has changed. Everything that happened in my life had to happen.
I want to, for the both of us, I want to believe that once our kids get to a certain age, it'll be a lot easier. Right now, we're in the stages because like they need more nurturing and attention.
Absolutely.
But once they're older, it's like, okay, now I've got my time back.
That's kind of why I'm like, man, this baby really coming, huh? I'm gonna have to do it all over again. Damn.
With your newborn, it's gonna be easy.
I have it built in.
Yeah.
That third one kind of just follows up.
Yeah.
Don't
That, and it's just with her being a newborn for like a good 3 months. It's like, okay, you're asleep, bet.
Yeah. Yo.
That first month, definitely, you're like, all right, go ahead and go to sleep. Take this bottle, go to sleep. But as soon as 2.5 months, 3 months, where they get the wanting to hold that neck up.
Man. I tell you what, though, man, I am really okay with the idea of like not putting out a picture like I put out.
Yeah.
I am so okay with that. Some people that hit me up that want some work done. I might finish. Like I can't afford it, right? I love these people all still to death, and they love me because every time I get this feeling bad about how it doesn't get done or how I'm not producing, they always the ones to tell me. But I don't see it like that. I really don't. I see it like I'm letting myself down by letting y'all down, and now I'm not gonna make it. I don't ever project that to nobody out there like that, but a lot of more people are okay with those results.
Yeah, and it sucks that you have to take those kind of sacrifices to finish love or do
Well,
something.
no, it's my fault. I don't follow enough rules.
Oh.
There are no. There's things that I could sketch out and do structure to where that thing could have got finished in a couple of days.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't. I need to learn. I need to learn how to do stuff.
Like the artistic rules? Okay.
Yeah.
What was it that you were skipping?
I don't figure draw.
Okay.
So it literally starts out as a blob. Then I'll do a nose, and then it'll stretch out, and then I'll erase it and compress it, and all that kind of stuff. If I really took my time, I would sketch out this triangle nose, identify where the nostrils are supposed to go and everything.
Okay.
It's a process, but I don't know why for the life of me. That's always been my biggest...
Isn't that easier? It's not easier for you? Then don't follow it.
But it takes too long if I don't. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
If it's easier. Okay, so like
it's not easy for me. That's what I'm saying.
What's the complexity of it?
Well, it's not difficult to do because when I do a figure drawing, I'm constructing all of these things that aren't going to eventually stay on the piece.
Okay.
But if you do it enough times when you sketch, basically if you have to, or shade over it.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time realizing.
Oh,
my teacher hated it. Shouts out to Larry, man. I mean, dog. Yeah, nah, I can do it. I've forgotten how. That's my big beef right now. Is I forgot. When I was in school, I was able to do it, and I was consistent doing it. I got home. I forgot I went to school, I guess, but been actually out on the search for those. Remember those draw character books from back in the Scholastic Wolf book fair days?
Yeah, we were talking about it a couple of.
I need to pick a couple of them up because literally.
Why don't you YouTube it?
Look, I will do it for like a Photoshop program.
Yeah.
But I almost feel like I need to read while I'm drawing.
Or not like press pause and.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I'm looking at my pad. I gotta read or
pause,
something.
Rewind.
That's the biggest part about it. Is like, how am I gonna do this right if I'm looking over here?
Hey man,
trying to finish it.
Work with what you got.
Ain't nobody learn no animation down no 4-inch screen. You can't even close the window down that far. You can't get your time. You can't read your timeline that far. Otherwise, you made a flip book on the computer.
Right. That's probably what it was.
I look. Hey man, I've had a hard time just like thinking about like, bro, cool and all, man, but when you really just sit and think, and it's been a long time ago, I don't know what's going on in mine, but it's like you really sit and think like, not even that I'm just so good that you should accept.
Yeah.
Not even that. You know what I mean? It's like I'm not that good because I know where my weaknesses are. But no, man, it's just give me a bunch of bullshit.
You know what's crazy? I think I get where you're coming from though about the figure drawing thing, because I could sit there and learn how to shape the head, do the circles, then start adding in. But I can just go in it. Like when I go drawing faces or bodies and stuff, I go in it, and then like because I haven't put enough practice in to like stop going into full detail and just move on and come back to it later. That's my struggling point. That's how I was doing with music at one point too. Like I'd get stuck on one thing, and then because I'm so frustrated with it, I just give up. But yeah, I can understand where you're coming from with that.
I do know how to do my perspective lines and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I still do that off the top of my head, but when it comes to figure,
I think if you know that it's easier and quicker to do a certain process, teach yourself how to do it. But if it's something you're comfortable with and you're okay with the timing, then just stick with it. I think you do well enough to be able to stick with it, but I don't know how well you do if you did the ruling.
sketch and catch, right?
Yeah.
I'm a sketch. I got to get it out of my head. I'm still gonna be asking you questions. You think this interview helping you in any way?
Absolutely.
It's constructive.
Very. Because just like you said, I'm in my head a lot, and then whenever I'm in my head, I let the external life get to me. I tend to power down. Sometimes more recent now than before. Like I just get in these modes where I'm just like, what's the point? What am I doing? And even though it's brief, it's not as long as it used to be. It's brief. It does happen, and I like things that keep me going. Like this being able to conversate definitely keeps me going. I had a conversation with my little brother about some stuff that we had going on, and he had mentioned being able to talk to me when I'm streaming, and I'm just like, okay, like during the game stream, but like, you know, whenever he's up and he's wanting to chat, I'm there. And then of course the people I've met through game streaming, BAFSAF, Sketch and Catch, like it was something about us that they allowed themselves to pop in and be like, hey, now will they see us live? Probably not, but people do go back and watch the videos after we've live streamed.
Mm-hmm.
People do go watch the videos when I've posted them for you. So I know that we're still reaching people.
It's good to know. I like that.
Yeah, like even if it's 5, I'm like, okay, that's 5 people who, you know, we'll get 5 more next month or something like that. But I always know I'm reaching someone, and I really appreciate that.
Glad. I didn't before I asked you about your following and stuff. I definitely didn't check your number. It wasn't like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
no, honestly, I try not to make it about the numbers. I know the numbers are what make the success, but I don't feed into them. More like, oh, I gotta get my numbers up. It's like, okay, to me, like they're fucking numbers, because I want the people. I don't want the numbers. I want the people.
That's also why I asked specifically about the lanes that you're trying to monitor.
Yeah.
Because it won't matter if you're
and it really helps me to have people who really care the fact that I'm trying to get monetized, or like they make it my job, because they keep me in check. Because like I could be like, nah, you know, I'm just having fun with it. Like, no, dude, like, you know, you want to get paid for it. This is what you need to do to get paid for it. I'm like, okay, fine, because like I've gotten to a point where I just had this discussion with her. I'm at a point in my life now where like I really hate the idea of money and the meaning behind it, to the point where I'm like, I don't care if it's made or not. I can't think that way.
Okay, you can't afford to think that way no
more.
more.
Like, I think it and I feel it, but I don't act because of it. I'm just like, I really hate it, but like, go ahead and get this money, you know. But I hate the idea behind it, that we have to work so hard to just be given an allowance for our hard work or the stuff that we like to do. And then with the increase of living costs becoming unbearable,
all of those factors right now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It makes it hard.
It does.
Dude, I go to work pissed off,
and it's very disparaging.
I can't stand them.
Yeah.
And I let them know. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't no badass or nothing, but it's like, here and get my work done.
Yeah.
That's basically how I treat them. And they respect it. But that's what keeps my sanity going and doing stuff like coming in, talking on SF, Sketch and Catch with my man Michael Hamilton. Woo! But no, but no, like for real, man. Shit, it's hard. It is hard out here right now.
There's one thing that really like hurts my soul, it's the idea of money.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
you know what that means, though?
If the
That means you gotta go home.
Yeah.
Means you gotta.
If the cost efficiency was lower, I'd be okay. Like, if the cost of living was much lower, like everyone was just comfortable, even people who were just making the bare minimum.
I will see them $500 2 bedrooms.
Oh my gosh, dude!
Goodness.
Like that's the good days where like the most expensive would be a 3-bedroom for $800.
Yeah. You like $800 months for
Now you're
rent.
seeing
You
studios for $1,200.
This is not New York.
I will
This
be
is
homeless.
far from New York. I will. But test my game, see if you want to.
What the hell?
You gonna
And
see
it's
me
like,
out here?
is-
You gonna see me on 29th Street or on the side of the street eating a fucking deer?
I don't
over
see
a
no
bonfire.
marble countertop, no island for me to be paying $1,200.
But
And as soon as I started seeing 1-bedrooms for over $1,000, I'm like, who the hell do you think you are renting out? And another episode where we get interrupted by the kids.
on this episode of Dads, the Dad Cast.
It happens once an episode. We mention Will Smith, and I get
He get bombarded by the boys, man. You know what? I'm good with that.
I'm okay
I'm
with
good.
it. At least I know they're okay. I honestly, like, when I get in my head, I just turn into this darker person.
Yep.
And I have to remember, I don't know, like I have to tell myself that there's so much more to life than what I'm allowing myself to see. And it helps me get to a point where I'm like, okay, I can turn myself around. And it also helps me stay persistent and like want to continue to be a DJ, want to continue to do better with music, and then of course staying on top with the podcast and the streaming and everything. It's just like I'm being well-rounded as far as the media goes and entertainment goes. And I understand, like, right now it's just like I'm still in year one. Like, I haven't even hit a full year yet. I'm still in year one, and I'm definitely feeling it. Like,
I think it's probably gonna be your toughest year, bro.
Huh?
Until you get
Which one?
as this one.
Yeah,
your
no, I'm
toughest year.
definitely feeling it, man. Because
You get
it's
up
like,
and then like in peaks and valleys, and then you start experiencing the valleys. Year one is always up.
yeah. And what I'm gonna start doing, I keep saying it, but I know I'm working towards it. I do better, you know, day. Is that this year I do plan on trying to get into the clubs organically. Like, I have a buddy who was I had an opportunity to go like see him on Thursday nights, like kind of practice with what setup he had and kind of get accustomed to, you know, like doing it. But because of the weather, he kind of bailed out and was waiting for it to get warm. So I'm like, okay, you know, like I should have hopped on that when I had the chance. So that was my bad. But also, it's like I need to be practicing at home. Like I can get my home practice. So like when I do show up at the clubs and I'm like, what do you got? I could be like, step aside.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Okay.
and also, like, I've kind of understand where everyone's ability is. Like, I'm hearing DJs at clubs, and I understand how their transitions are and how their mixes are. And I'm like, okay, you know, with DJing and music in general, like, it's a fun competition. So with me, I'm like, okay, I can do better.
Yeah,
In
yeah.
a fun
DJ's
way,
always
in a
been
fun competitive way,
thing.
I can do better.
Not
Not to take anyone's job, but it's like I'm definitely gonna put myself out there to be better.
is club DJing a big goal for you?
Not a big goal. I want to go beyond that, but it's definitely a lucrative goal. I can bring some money in.
Way to monetize.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, when it's, because not only does it start with monetization, it starts with exposure. Because my boy Tommy, like, he had started, I think last summer, and then he like already known, like, out there. He's doing clubs a week, like not just one, like he's clubs a week. Very, very happy for him to do that. And I had a talk with him. He actually wants to be on the podcast eventually. Our schedules kind of like, you know, but like we had one night I went to Heat and we were talking, and he was like, I don't want to do clubs. I'm like, wait, what? Because I was talking to him and another buddy of mine, Luda, who used to do hookah after me. and we were like talking about how we all wanted to
Did you
do
say
our
Buddha or Luda?
Luda.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Buddha.
we were all talking about like our wants and our like what we want to do, what we don't want to do as far as DJing. Because Luda wanted to do it, he needed someone to help put him on. In a sense, like he like a kind of like a hey, you can do this, so do it. So he had Tommy, and like I just kind of needed like know where I could take where I want to go. I needed like to know someone, like because I had my uncle, but he's like he like bedroom DJ. He doesn't club DJ anymore. He used to club DJ.
Bedroom.
Just from your home.
Oh,
They
okay.
call it bedroom DJ.
Who's your uncle?
His name is Paul. He'll sometimes he'll hop on the game stream. He
okay.
He was DJ Boolong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wondering.
So he actually the one who gifted me the CDJs down there.
Okay.
And like yeah, he's the reason why I'm like okay, no, I definitely want to do it. Yeah, man. Because I have him as inspiration, but I kind of just wanted to know someone still doing it, like who has the connections. So I could be like, hey, either I could get the connections and I could help him, or I could have someone help me with connections. But it was just like it's networking for sure when it comes to around the city, and with so many clubs, you have all these people who already have themselves planted in clubs. Like you have to find new places before they jump on them, and it's like I hate the idea of networking because I don't know why. It's just like I have this expectation, like if you know me, you know you need instead of having to be like kind of like beg.
I understand that.
It's the begging part that I'm like I don't want to do that.
And people love to just like make you raw for shit.
Yeah. I'm like I don't want to do that. I don't want to.
That's one thing about Wichita. I will say people really make you like.
They make you grovel.
They make you grovel for.
Yeah, it's like
come on,
really
bro. I got more dignity than that.
Please.
No, I'm not some fat kid chasing the Twinkie right now. Don't do that to me.
Wasp nest in my window.
Outside?
Yeah, in between. But I don't ever open this thing.
Okay, Mother, just don't open it. You want to see Big Boy bust through that door like the Kool-Aid, man? I'm out of here. I don't mess with wasps. Scared of wasps and bees.
I don't mess with them.
Actually, I'm not as afraid of bees as I am of wasps.
I don't have a fear. I just don't want to get stung. I know people go ow, but I'm like I don't want that.
Oh, you know what? I think that was a thing on another one of your episodes. Was it a wasp in your cold plate? Or it was like it was something like. I don't remember.
Scorpion maybe.
No, I ain't much on Scorpion.
No, at the other house.
Yeah,
we did. Yeah, there was a wasp in the house. Yeah.
Tell you where you
that
won't
was
catch
earlier
me.
on. Yeah, that was like episode 2 or 3 with us. Yeah.
What about?
I forgot about that. I don't deal with them because I just as a kid I know what they're about and I'm like I'm not.
They have no purpose other than to bring pain and pollinate.
They're chaos and dude. Yeah, that's nothing
but
flying demons.
So, how long do you think it'll take you to get into a club, or how long would you want it to take? What's your club goal?
So my goal is definitely I wanted to do it this year. We're already in March, so I need to step up my game. But my reality goal this time next year. My want to goal this year by New Year's Eve. Because it's gonna be popping and like it's just but the slots are already being filled for New Year's because of this past New Year's Eve. But anything can happen to anything, so as long as I can. And here's what I was telling myself is that I wanted to make sure I had some kind of presence socially on social media, so it helps. Like I have a few mixes under my belt. I'm streaming and recording myself doing the work, and then I go to a club like, hey, anybody looking for DJs? Or I go downtown, hey, anybody looking for DJs? And they're like, oh, what you got? I have a page. I have my mixes. You can follow me, or you can just check me out.
pay attention. They're unilateral. They know they got a DJ that's always there, so they don't need another DJ.
Right.
So that type, especially downtown.
Yeah.
Downtown is
there.
like,
But
that's about the only place that really. Ooh, look at the only place that does.
Yeah, so that's why you wore it, because I know with it being downtown though. I will say this, like I feel like it can be kind of easy to cycle out DJs because a lot of them don't really
But
care
they
for the
don't
pay.
Don't right.
No.
Why?
House DJs, and then some of them are like, because you get those ones.
I
who
guess
like,
that's like a.
well,
thing.
you get the ones who
whatever.
either want more pay or they go find another club to DJ at. So like they're like, oh, on Tuesdays and Wednesdays I go here, Thursdays and Fridays I go here.
Yeah, because I know. I remember Magnum would always be like, "Oh, you can catch me over here at Rock Island or whatever." But I don't know. Like, it would be interesting if you saw one. But like industry, I guess they do kind of cycle out more than what I was getting.
Yeah.
Because industry would go cycle out. Have Magnum was here Saturday, every Saturday.
Yeah.
Sometimes Friday, another cat would be the type shit.
Or like 8 to 10, and then Magnum will come in and they just close out the night. But you know, because then it comes down to like, oh, you know, we have a jukebox or we have a aux. You know, we just plug our phone in because it's like they don't want to pay for it. So like, but they know they need the music.
Close.
Yeah, that's really good. My face is slimmer on that page, so I appreciate it.
It's dramatized.
I look like an Asian. Where's Waldo?
Oh, Asian what?
Where's Waldo?
Damn, he sure do.
Let me see it again.
That was with the figure drop.
I think it's just
So
because
even still like
it's only because like with my headband, how you drew it.
I didn't finish the bun.
Right, like looking at it right now, it just looks like the top
Like
of his.
snowball.
Yeah, and of course the glasses. I look like Waldo about to give you a fortune cookie. You find me, give you a fortune.
I did a little too well, bro. That wasn't just stereotype. That's
It's in
just
my blood.
It's in your blood.
But no, I thought about that too, because it's like I would like another venue for people to be able to perform at. So like I have like another like actual venue, like a performing venue, or like a bar where people could be, you know, rock bands or rap artists, DJs, you know, just like have specific nights for specific genres for people to come out to. Because yeah, we need more. We need more places for people.
Oh, tell me improv and karaoke bar with fire.
We need it because you can also turn that into a comedy club. We had the pleasure of being able to see Jordan Rock and TJ Miller. Okay, TJ Miller. Jordan Rock is actually Chris Rock's youngest brother, I think. Actually, let me show you both. But yeah, we went and saw them, and they were really funny.
Yeah.
But like Lonely Bin downtown was a really good spot for people who like crowd work comedy clubs. And I was like, once I heard that place was shut down, I was like, there's so many more like comedians who can come here.
Is your business? I mean, not that I'm not calling it a business. I don't know. Have a mission statement.
Mission statement? Huh? No, I don't. Yeah, no, I've never actually thought about one like that.
Try that. I'm doing pulling a couple of questions out of my old YEK template. Would I ever try to get in like a big owner or anything? Talk to people about business, like kind of things to talk about it, but able.
Okay. That
I
might
don't know.
help.
Did you ever take YEK?
Uh-uh.
I took youth entrepreneurs camp. I failed miserably, but I also was not a fan. I would have been.
I went to Venture Kids when I was little. So like there was this program where you were either randomly selected or specially picked. But it's a program you're younger, you learn how to be an entrepreneur.
Hmm.
And like they held it at Newman's University. You go through all these little like things during the program. It's like a half-day program, and then once you're done, they give you a booklet, like a little portfolio, and then also a $50 bond, $50 bond. And like when they explained it, I was like, wait, in 7 years I can have this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want this shit.
Yep. I'd have been mad, lost that month.
But like I told my parents about it, they're like, "Oh yeah," and I was like, "Well, can you do it so I can have $50 in 7 years?" Never happened.
Damn. They charge that to the electric bill, homie.
Well, yeah, no, because like you had to open an account, and like me being, I think I was like 11. Like, no, you don't need no account.
That's some people saying we ain't gonna give y'all shit for doing this, but
Yeah. You want to invest this? It takes
Saving
7
bonds,
years
that's
to
like giving you
mature.
cryptocurrency or
I'm like,
something.
mature? No, I want this now. Like, you understand how many toys I can buy with this $50 right now?
They
Like,
didn't
you
know what
you're keeping
inflation
me
was
from?
gonna do.
Right. The economy is so well that you can wait 7 years for it to be fully mature. Then you can get that
$50,
50.
you can get a quarter tank of
Like,
gas.
so if I wait 7 more years, will it be 100? Nope.
Nope.
Be a smooth, worthless 50. Would you have established, or do you have a mission statement established?
We had one established at one point. I had written down. We've been so far back and forth with stuff, and we've been doing this for 6-7 years now. And yeah, no, I don't remember our mission. We've definitely written one down.
How about this? How about you make one now to pursue the idea that you have, that we have a mutual idea of, like, what would be your mission statement to provide?
Sorry.
Oh, I was like, you
Go
bit?
ahead. No, you're fine. You're feeling.
What would be your mission statement to provide access to people who are pursuing music and art? Like, to have a facility for all that, like you were describing earlier. What would be your mission statement for that?
We'll start something like, for those who kept away, providing avenue for people who've been kept away. I don't have it anymore, but that's kind of how the original one started out, because that's always what we do, was kind of fill that gap. I'm not like good. Remember I was telling you before you wrote the Bible, I'm not good at coming up with stuff just off the dome. Stuff like that. I be trying to think of too many big words.
Well, maybe you can try to base it off mine, because I've been trying to construct mine in my head for the same thing. Being able to I like the fact that you said avenue. Establishing an avenue for anyone who's got their, who wants to pursue art. I would be pursuing your journey through comfort, or in comfort, with comfort. Because if you think about it, if we were given, if someone was to walk up to us and say, "Hey, we heard about your plan, money's not an issue, tell us exactly what it is and we'll get it to you." I would want to, even for people who would come from the coast to the Midwest to pursue their journey, because it's cheaper. One, the cost of living is comfortable. Two, the resources that we have are enough for you to do whatever it is that you want to do. And the time, the connections, the networking, like everything is just going to be at ease. It's going to be a comfort. Like, there's no battling out. There's no, what you were saying earlier, gatekeeping. We won't allow the gatekeeping, because it's like, you won't have to worry about staying home once you've like found your successful journey. You can go venture out, whatever. It's like, it's, oh no, I've always had this one in my head. It's success can start home, or success can start at home, because you always have to travel from the Midwest outward. So it would be pursuing your journey in comfort, where success can start at home. Put those two together, yeah. Because like, it's so easy to be stable here in the Midwest, but like, to pursue your journey, like your dreams of art or media, whatever it is, like, sometimes you have to leave home. But
So I wrote down establishing a local avenue for creators yet to cut. Also started a new lane for those. I don't know. I can't think of one fast enough because we got to wrap up here. And I will write you one and send it to you before. I think I might try to join a couple groups myself.
Okay.
So you asked me a question that you wanted me to answer today, and I'll close with that one. A late celebrity or musician that I genuinely.
Oh yeah.
The one that kind of screams in my head right now is Robin Williams. A lot of people I thoroughly enjoyed Robin
He's a
Williams.
big one.
Movie.
Yeah.
I would probably say that's one of the ones. I ain't never really broke down or cried too hard after I found out a celebrity or musician died.
You,
like,
right?
huh?
But it hit you, right? I'm sorry, I actually cut you off.
No, you're fine. No, I wasn't gonna say.
Were you gonna elaborate on Robin Williams?
No, I'm done.
Okay.
Because I was kind of trying to think of a musician that I would miss and probably break down over a musician way more than I would over an actor.
Okay.
But just one that died that I really just miss like that. Even think of who all done died. There's been so many,
Yeah.
you know. I'm too young technically to really miss Pac and Big.
Yeah.
Big Crit still alive. Kendrick Lamar, J. Cole still alive. Like who? I mean, I'm trying to think. I don't miss Coolio like that. I'm trying to think. I can't really think of nobody, and I'll probably
Chadwick Boseman. No.
It hurt. Like when he died, I did.
Like when I
That
asked
was
that question,
sad death,
it's
yes.
just like, yeah, like what death that was a celebrity
Oh,
that made you like that really impacted you.
I
Like,
thought you was thinking
shit.
like thinking today is like, oh, I missed that guy. I'm sorry.
No, like, you know, like what passing celebrity has made you like
shoot.
really impacted you to the point like if you think about them now, you're like, I wish they were still alive.
Man,
Like I guess missing them.
I guess I can. I definitely probably should have definitely spoke up and said Nip.
I wasn't saying Nips.
Yeah, definitely because of his mindset as far as business goes. I liked his music, but I liked what he was doing for the people that he was around way more.
Yeah.
So
He was definitely a voice for the.
I definitely just Nip in that aspect, and it hit too hard. It hit black people real hard after it.
Because he was such an
Especially-
epitomal icon. That's why
yeah,
would you want to take that?
being took from his own peers too.
Yeah.
So that was weak. That was
Yeah.
I will still keep Robin Williams on there because dealing with like understanding people side and all that kind of stuff and knowing people ain't nearly as healthy as that. Like you always seen Robin Williams happiest people ever and all that kind of stuff. You never would have thought.
Yeah.
I feel like it's somebody that died that I could really just say impacted that I felt bad. Prince was a big thing in the household.
Mhm.
I painted a picture of Prince for somebody afterwards. I was actually just started painting and I'm really unhappy because I decided to put Purple Rain on it.
Okay.
I didn't know how to paint rain, so the strokes on there, the sticker and all the rest of
okay.
it. It's in there. Yeah, it didn't come out like I wanted. But she liked it.
Good.
Michael Jackson, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was working at Best Buy. So you can imagine what kind of day I had. I worked in the media CD department.
Playing his music nonstop.
Playing his music nonstop, people coming in, rushing. Like, I'm telling you, 30 minutes into my shift, I think the whole thing was, or 30 minutes after figuring out it happened, whole show. Michael Jackson
That's
was
crazy.
gone. So that's definitely one. But it couldn't not be Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say Mike, Nip, and Robin. I would think it's another rapper, but like I said, the list too long at this point.
Yeah.
All them young guys that passed away, like, excuse me,
Recently?
within the last 10 years. There it is, folks. Well, it's gonna be the last show that I'm gonna host because February is in. Figure not February to host it. Happy Black History Month, folks. No. But yes, y'all have to catch us in 2 weeks. We'll be doing the same thing at the same time, as always. But I'm gonna give the control back to the man over here, the man right here. Yeah, and I'm glad that we got to sit and kind of chat about, and hopefully I just even kind of sparked a little flicker or something, and we can apply it. And I want to see you in a club this year. I think you can make it happen. I think there's enough places. I think people are trying to do enough different things to where if you network it enough, don't necessarily harp too much on the organic part.
Yeah.
2024, we all too broke. And,
Yeah.
Sometimes you might just have to take an opportunity.
Yeah.
But also, it's okay to try to do it organic. Might
Yeah.
get you somewhere else.
Definitely.
Give it a shot, man, and let's both kind of reiterate again at another time. But all right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us. I don't know if your sister's still on, but sis, y'all have a good rest of your day and a productive rest of your day.
Hump day.
If it's something you want to do that shit. Do the shit. If you can't afford it, don't do it. Don't go broke doing it. Don't go insane doing it. But if you need some help doing it, I know a guy that can probably get you there. Ooh, ow. Yeah. Getting old out here. But thanks again, folks. Y'all have a wonderful day. I'm going to work.
I'm gonna go play.
Go play with the boys, man. Go play with the kids.
Yeah, have a good one. See y'all this weekend
Have a
if
good
I do.
one. Yep.